Hi everyone, I am glad to welcome you. I am a teacher at the College of International Service and Management, Кажымгалиева А.Б. In this video, you can find valuable materials for learning conditional sentences, and we will talk in more detail about the first conditional. What is the conditional sentences? Conditional sentences are statements discussing known factors or hypothetical situations and their consequences. There are 4 different types of conditional sentences in English: real conditional sentence, conditional 1, conditional 2, and 3. Each expresses a different degree of probability that a situation will occur or would have occurred under certain reason. And the first example is real conditional sentence, or another name, zero conditional sentences. For example, when people smoke cigarettes, their health suffers. Next type is conditional 1, or the first conditional sentence. For example, if you rest, you will feel better. The next type is conditional 2, or second conditional sentences. For instance, if I inherited $1 billion, I would travel to the moon. And the last type is conditional 3, third conditional sentences. If I had cleaned the house, I could have gone to the cinema or movies. I'm sorry. And every complete conditional sentence contains a conditional clause or if clause and the main clause, consequence. So let's consider if a certain condition is true, then a particular result happens. Look to the several examples. The first, I would travel around the world if I won the lottery. And the second, when water reaches 100 degrees, it boils. Okay, let's look at the conditional 1 in more detail. First conditional sentences are used to express situations in which the outcome is likely to happen in the future. Note that in if clause we use present simple, subject plus verb. In a positive sentence, subject plus don't, doesn't plus verb. In a negative sentence, and do, does plus subject plus verb in a question. And in the main clause, we use future simple. Subject plus will, shall plus verb with ing in a positive sentence, and also there we have the negative and question sentences. And the main clause expresses the likely outcome when the if clause express and show the condition. Despite the complex nature of conditional sentences, punctuating them properly is really simple and easy. We use a comma after the if clause when the if clause precedes the main clause. For example, if Lisa wins the prize, she will be very happy. And the part if Lisa wins the prize, it's the if clause, then it's comma, then is main clause, she will be very happy. In the main clause, when the main clause precedes the if clause, no punctuation is necessary for, like in this example. Lisa will be very happy if she wins the prize. Lisa will be very happy is the main clause. If she wins the prize, it's the if clause. And there we have no comma. Let's go to the other examples. If he catches a fish, he will be very happy. In this example, we can indicate that under a certain condition, in this case, if he catches a fish, A specific result will likely happen in the future. In the future, he will be happy. Of course, he will be happy if he catches a fish. And another example, if you set your mind to a goal, you will eventually achieve it. In this example, condition is set your mind to the goal. And the result is that you will achieve it. Of course, everyone will achieve if you set your mind to a goal. Also, we have some differences between first conditional and other conditional sentences. And the first difference between the first and the zero conditional. The conditional one describes a particular situation, whereas the zero conditional describes what happens in general truths, facts, etc. For instance, zero conditional. If you sit in the sun, you get burned. Here, I'm talking about every time a person sits in the sun. The burning is a natural consequence of the sitting. But the first conditional, if you sit in the sun, you will get burned. Here, I'm talking about what will happen today. But another day might be different. Maybe it will be raining tomorrow. The second difference between the first and the second conditional, the first conditional describes things that I think are likely to happen in the future, whereas the second conditional talks about things what I don't think will really happen. It depends on my own point of view. For example in the first conditional, if she studies harder, she will pass the exam. Here, I think it's possible because she's hardworking student. She will study harder, so she will pass. But the second conditional, if she studied harder, she would pass the exam. Here, I think that she won't study harder, or it's very unlikely because she doesn't study in a proper way, so she won't pass. As with most topics in the English language, conditional sentences often present special cases in which unique rules must be applied. Generally speaking, the future simple should be used only in the main clause. However, in some cases, we can use future simple in if clause. One exception is when the action in the if clause will take place after the action in the main clause. For example, if aspirin will ease my headache, I will take a couple tonight. The action in the if clause is the aspirin easing the headache, which will take place only after the speaker takes them later at night. So, I will be take a couple tonight if aspirin will ease my headache. Also, in conditional sentence, we can use the word unless. Unless means except if, or simply we can say if not. Say if not. For example, with if not, you will feel good if you don't wear a coat. And with unless, you will feel cold unless you wear a coat. In both these examples, we have the same meaning and refer to the present time. Unless is also, Unless is good to use when it highlights an exception to what is generally true. And for example, I'll arrive at 10 a.m. unless there is traffic. And also, I will arrive at 10 a.m. if there isn't traffic. In this example, I only have one reason why I may be late, and it is traffic. Transport or vehicle on the road. Let's continue. In order to consolidate our knowledge, let's do some exercise. And first of all, let's refresh our knowledge. As I mentioned before, in if clause, we use present simple, subject plus verb. And in main clause, we use future simple, subject plus will, shall plus verb. And in this task, we have to complete the sentence with the correct form of the verbs. And the first is given as an example. Sorry. Focus your attention to the sentence. Okay, let's consider. The first part has the word if. So we can say that we have to use present simple in this part. So our part would be if I go out tonight. And in the second part, we have to use future. So it would be I will go to the cinema. So our sentence will sound like that. If I go out tonight, I will go to the cinema. Okay, in this task, try to do sentences by yourself, and it will be your homework. Okay, let's continue. I thought maybe we could mix in pleasure, a little pleasure for our task. And now we're going to listen to music. This song called Count on Me by Bruno Mars. And we're going to listen this song 2 times. It isn't the whole song, only a little part of it. And you have to listen carefully and complete the sentence with the correct form of the verbs and words or phrases which represented by the pictures. Okay, there is the lyrics and fulfill the gaps. Let's start. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. Okay, listen one more time. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you.
If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to fill these gaps. Okay, that's right. I thought you have already finished, and let's check it.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
Okay, right. And this song is very popular by Bruno Mars, and this song about friendship. You can sing the song with your friends. Okay, let's continue. And we have come to the end of our lesson. And let's summarize. What have we learned? We have already known that there are 4 types of conditional sentences. It is first, second, third, and 0. And of course, it's beneficial to use the correct structure to each conditional because they express varying meanings. And also, we have to pay attention to verb tense when using different conditional moods. And finally, I hope that you can use a comma in the correct place. And this is the end of our lesson. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice time. Goodbye. I hope see you soon. Bye.